Hi, welcome back to Foodie Friday at the Balk Springs Library. I'm Miss Teresa. This is where we make easy recipes for teens, adults, or your whole family. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay guys, we are going to make a pear tart today. I have some really nice pears. They don't look the best. We're going to peel them. They're just on the verge of being too ripe, but they still do have some firmness to them, and I really don't like wasting stuff, so I'm going to show you how to make a pear tart. You're going to need some puff pastry. I grabbed this one from my local store. If you cannot find puff pastry, just use croissant rolls or crescent rolls, however you want to pronounce them. So you will need that. You're going to need some parchment paper, just parchment paper. And you're going to need a pizza pan from your dollar store. And I take this and I just trace around. Take that out. Alright, does this have to be perfect? Absolutely not. You just want to make sure that whenever you put this on your pan, that you put the side that you drew on face down, because you do not want any kind of markings, pencil markings to get into your food, okay? So we're going to put that off to the side. Stay and behave. Alright. So, the puff pastry will come in a bag like this, okay? And mine came in squares, which doesn't really work for the purpose that I need it, because I needed a big round one. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I would do if I had the crescent rolls, okay? Because the size you want it is the size of this plate. So if I would split this plate down, clearly it's too short, okay? So I'm going to take my other piece and we're just going to kind of merge it. Now this is in the freezer section, okay? So when you go looking for it, that's where you're going to find it, is in the freezer section. And you're going to let it defrost. And then it gets very pliable, and it does not take long at all for this to defrost, okay? So I'm going to put those there, and then I'm going to put my plate back. So it's going to be like that. So I'm going to merge this with this, and this is just an extra piece I don't need. So we're going to cut that off. Don't throw your puff pastry away. Keep it, reuse it, make little tartlets, little, however you want to do it, okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to let this warm up to temperature. Here's my pieces of paper. And we're just going to kind of mush it together. Now, I got this from the internet from entertainingwithbeth.com, but I did change a few things, okay? She used red pears, I had green pears. So you use what you got on hand, remember that, okay? Okay, so here's my plate. And she says to go about an inch or two outside of the plate. Now, pears and apples go really well together. You can also pair it, pun on words, with some peaches. Plums would be really good, or some blackberries would be good to add it into it. I'm taking some inspiration from the apples, but I'm not pairing it with the apples today. I'm just doing straight pears. Take this one off. Okay. Come on up. Thank you. Now we're going to take this and we're going to flip it on this. And the best thing I found to do is to take my circle that I just cut out, and we're going to put it down on this, like so. There we go. And then we get pizza pan, and we put it on top. And then we'll move our extra pieces. Move pieces. And then hand underneath and flip. Easy peasy transfer. Alright. So it looks like that. Right? Right. Alright. So next we need is some applesauce. And I have these little packs. These are 4-ounce packs, and you need at least a half a cup in the center, okay? And we have the unsweetened applesauce. All right, I'm gonna open this up. And these work out perfect. This is the perfect size you need. And then you just give the rest to your kids. Okay, so then we're going to get the cinnamon and we're going to add the cinnamon. Now, the exact amount of cinnamon that we're using is 1/4 of a teaspoon, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it, okay? Yes, you could buy the cinnamon applesauce already together, but my kids don't like the cinnamon applesauce. So we just buy regular applesauce and then add our own cinnamon. We have all that done. Now we're going to cut our pears. I'm going to push that to the side. I'm going to cut my pears. Oh, don't go anywhere, Pear. I already pre-washed my pears, so because my pears are not the best looking one, I will peel them, okay? Just let you know. I'm going to cut it down the middle. And if you have some brown spots like that, we're going to cut around those, okay? So, do not let an overripe pear discourage you. Originally, the recipe called for 2 pears. I do have 3, just because I knew they were going to be on the very ripe side. And I knew I was going to have to discard some of the pear. Now, in her recipe, she did, like I said, use some red pears, which look very nice, and if you want to keep the peeling on, you can. If you get to your pears early enough, you can leave the peeling on. I find with pears, the peeling is kind of on the tough side, so I actually prefer to take the peeling off. So we're going to proceed with this and then we'll come back, okay? Alright guys, we're back. I have all the pears cut up and placed around here. I did have to use 3 pears because they were just overripe, so you just use the best with what you got. So it calls for sugar to be over the top. It actually calls for 1 tablespoon of sugar. I just have some sugar packs and we're just going to sprinkle those on. And do 1 more. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more cinnamon sugar just because I really like cinnamon sugar. So I'm going to add some more cinnamon to it. Okay. So now we're going to throw this in the oven. Again, it's a 400-degree oven, and we're going to cook it for 30 to 35 minutes, okay? And whenever we come back, we'll show you how to finish it off. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. The tart is freshly out of the oven. Mine only took 30 minutes. So again, depends on your oven. You may need 30 or 35. So now I have some apple jelly. You can also use honey if you don't prefer apple jelly. It was cheaper at my store to get apple jelly than it was honey. So all I'm going to do is get the apple jelly here. I'm going to mix it with just a little bit of hot water, very hot water, and then I'm going to brush it on as a glaze. So I'll be right back, okay? Alright guys. So we put the apple jelly with a little bit of water into the microwave for 30 seconds. And you don't have to add water. I just don't want it over jellified, you know. And we're just going to brush this on the pears and give it a nice little glaze. And this would be perfect for like a Mother's Day brunch, if you were having a graduation party. This is just a really easy dessert and it looks fabulous. Okay, so that's how it looks. Look at the shine, the shimmer. Now, we're gonna get a plate. And this dessert is very accommodating to a large crowd, okay? I'm going to try to cut it all nice and pretty, and hopefully we can get it out nice and pretty. Hear that crackle? That's why we love puff pastry. Alright, so I have my piece. I put it there. Now with mine, I am going to take my sugar-free caramel, and you can take whipped cream, whatever you want, but I want some caramel on mine. So I'm going to take some caramel, and I'm just going to drizzle it on. Alright, there you go. So I hope you enjoy. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. We love seeing how your creations come out. And until next time, bon appetit. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Foodie Friday. I hope you had fun making the recipe. Remember to like, follow, share. We love seeing your creations. Also, if you're a local restaurant in the Box Springs Mesquite area and like to be featured on one of our programs, please contact the Box Springs Library. We'd love to have you as a featured guest. And until next time, bon appetit.